I used to believe that trust was something simple, something steady, until the person I planned to spend my life would blur the line between loyalty and intimacy so deeply that I began to doubt everything I knew. My fiancée and I had a good rhythm, or so I thought. The apartment felt like ours, warm, familiar, safe. But then there was him, the man she called her work husband, a nickname that always made me uneasy, even when she laughed as she said it. At first, I told myself not to worry. They worked together. After all, they had inside jokes, meetings, and shared projects. But soon he was everywhere, at our dinners, joining weekend outings, even stopping by when I wasn't home. Every time, I swallowed the discomfort and told myself I was overthinking it. Yet, beneath that calm, something inside me started to twist. One evening, when I questioned how he knew my coffee order better than I did, she brushed it off with a smirk. "You're so insecure," she said, as if my feelings were a flaw instead of a warning. I smiled back, pretending her words didn't sting, pretending I believed her. But deep down, I knew something was shifting, something I couldn't ignore forever. The laughter between them started to sound different. The pauses in their conversations lingered too long. The glances they exchanged carried an intimacy that didn't belong to colleagues or even friends. I began to watch silently, carefully, speaking less, observing more. I told myself that when the truth revealed itself, I would face it with clarity, not anger. And then it did. It wasn't dramatic, just one careless moment. A look she didn't realize I saw. A comment not meant for me, spoken in the comfort of assumed privacy. It was enough. The denial that had protected me for months cracked in an instant. That night, while they laughed over something trivial, I felt the last thread of trust snap quietly inside me. When I finally brought it up, my voice was steady. I asked simple questions, the kind that required no embellishment. She tried to laugh it off, to tell me I was imagining things. "You're reading too much into it," she said. But she couldn't mask the flicker of guilt in her eyes, that fleeting expression that told me I was right all along. I didn't shout. I didn't plead for honesty or fight for explanations that would only twist the knife deeper. I just looked at her and asked, "Are we on the same page? Am I enough?" The silence that followed said everything her words never could. In the days that followed, I kept my calm. I went through the motions, making breakfast, sharing quiet dinners, maintaining the illusion of normalcy. But I was no longer trying to save anything. I was watching it end, piece by piece, every unexplained absence, every vague text, every laugh that didn't reach her eyes built a quiet truth I could no longer ignore. When the final moment came, it wasn't explosive. There were no tears or dramatic confessions, just her half-hearted excuses, dressed as humor, and my quiet decision to stop pretending. I packed my things carefully, without haste or bitterness. I left no trace of anger, only the calm certainty that I was done. I walked out of the apartment we once called home, and for the first time in months, I felt light. Not because it didn't hurt, it did, but because I finally chose myself over the endless cycle of doubt. A few days later, I heard that things between them had begun to crumble too. The same effortless laughter she once flaunted had faded. The comfort she took for granted was gone. And while a part of me wondered if she ever regretted it, I didn't seek an answer. Some things aren't worth revisiting. I learned that not every ending needs to be loud. Sometimes, strength lives in silence, in walking away with your dignity intact. Trust, once broken, doesn't return, but peace does eventually. And as I stepped into that quiet new life, I understood something simple and freeing. Love may fade, loyalty may fail, but self-respect, once reclaimed, becomes unshakable.